Research methodology for BS students. Dr. Nisar Ahmed, Assistant Professor, FGDC, Peshawar, Kant. What is research? A research is a creative and systematic work undertaken to increase the stock of knowledge. Good research is replaceable and transparent. Types of research. Action research. Action research refers to examining actions. Simultaneous process of taking action and doing research. Typically used in educational settings for teachers and principals to perform a type of self-assessment and course correction. Example, a teacher collects data about their methods of teaching 5th grade math. At the end of the first school quarter, they discovered only 33% of students demonstrated proficiency in the concepts. As a result, the teacher implements new methods for the second quarter. Causal research. Causal research, also called explanatory research, seeks to determine cause and effect relationships between variables. It identifies how much one variable may cause a change in the other. Example, a business studies employee retention rates before and after instituting a work-from-home policy after 6 months of employment to see if the approach increases employee retention. Cross-sectional research. Cross-sectional research studies a group or subgroup at one point in time. Participants are generally chosen based on specific shared characteristics, such as age, gender, or income, and researchers examine the similarities and differences within and between groups. The group is often used as a representation of a larger population. Example, a company researches the sales techniques of its top 10% of salespeople and compares them to those of its bottom 10%. This gives the company insights into the most successful and least successful sales methods. Deductive research, also called theory testing research. Develop a hypothesis based on existing theory and then design a study to test the hypothesis. Deductive mean reasoning from general to specific. Examples, spiders have 8 legs, tarantula is a spider so it must have 8 legs. Researchers observed that 12 international corporations enacted in-house carbon emission standards in the same year. They used deductive research to compare global emissions levels before and after the measures were enacted. Inductive research. Reasoning from specific to general. Sparrow has wings, crow has wings, parrot has wings. Sparrow, crow, and parrot are birds. Birds have wings. Example. To find if pet behavior change from work-from-home policy of their owners. Exploratory research. Research used to investigate problem which is not currently defined. Conducted to get better understandings but usually do not provide conclusive results. Example, a juice bar owner feels increasing the variety of juices will increase customers. Before investment he wants to do exploratory research whether this idea will work or not. Field research. Field research occurs wherever the participants or subjects are or on location. This type of research requires on-site observation and data collection. How animals behave in their natural environment. How people react to situation around them in their natural setting. Example, a manufacturing plant hires an environmental engineering firm to test the air quality at the plant to ensure it complies with federal health and safety requirements. The researchers travel to the plant to collect samples. Laboratory research. Laboratory research occurs in a controlled laboratory rather than in the field. Often, the study demands strict adherence to certain conditions, such as eliminating variables or timing conditions. Laboratory research includes chemical experimentation and pharmacological research. Example, a pharmaceutical company researches a new drug formula to determine if it would benefit diabetes patients. Researchers closely monitor chemical interactions in laboratory settings before moving to the next step. Fixed research. Fixed research design works with fixed data gathering tools, not able to change during data collection. Example, a researcher wants to test how different labels affect consumers' ratings of a sports drink. Participants are given the same drink with various labels at the same time and take a survey about taste and overall impressions. The timing of providing each drink and the subsequent surveys are critical to the study's validity. Flexible research. Flexible research allows procedures to change throughout the course of the experiment. The different types of flexible research include case studies. Case studies are in-depth analyses and observations about a specific individual or subject. Ethnographic studies. Ethnographic studies are in-depth analyses and observations of a group of people. Example, a physician uses a case study methodology to observe a patient through symptoms, treatment, and recovery. Qualitative research. Qualitative research involves non-numerical data, such as opinions and literature. It uses descriptions to obtain the meanings and feelings involved in a situation. Businesses often use qualitative research to determine consumer opinions and reactions. Examples: the gathering of opinions of focused group before publishing a new commercial. Quantitative research. Quantitative research depends on numerical data, such as statistics and measurements, to investigate specific questions, like who, what, where or when. The results are usually presented in tables or graphs. Example, a car manufacturer compares the number of sales of red color compared to white color. The research uses objective data, the sales figures for red and white color cars, to draw conclusions. Mixed research. Mixed research includes both qualitative and quantitative data. The results are often presented as a mix of graphs, words and images. Example, a car manufacturer asks car buyers to complete a survey after buying a red or white color car. Questions focus on how much the color impacted their decision and other opinion-based questions. Research methodology. Observations. Hypothesis/research question objectives. Review of literature methodology. Results and interpretations discussions. Recommendations future perspective. Observations. Identification of problem. A way to gather data by watching people, events, or noting physical characteristics in their natural setting. Observations can be overt, subjects know they are being observed. Covert, subjects do not know they are being observed. Hypothesis. Hypothesis is a tentative solution of the problem. Null hypothesis. No significant difference between specific population. Alternate hypothesis. Opposite of null hypothesis. Hypothesis versus research question. Hypothesis is a statement, more specific. Research question is a question, more general. Variables. Independent variables, cause-dependent variable, effect. Examples: effect of soil type, temperature, and water on growth of plant. Effect of inflation on socio-economic conditions. Objectives. Research objectives describe what your research project intends to accomplish. They should guide every step of research process, including collection of data, building argument, developing conclusion, establish scope of the research project, rationale, set of reasons that explain why a study is necessary. It can also be called as justification of the study or thesis statement. Should emphasize on knowledge gap, should be compelling. Convince your reader. What has already been done. Review of the literature. Should have entire knowledge of the research done so far on that particular subject. Sets the goals. Conduction of research. Collection of data. Sample versus population. Methods of gathering data, experiments. Surveys. Questionnaires, observations. Interviews. Records and documents. Data analysis. Descriptive statistics. Percentages, mean, median, mode. Inferential statistics, chi-square. Students' t-test, f-test or ANOVA, regression. Multivariate analysis. Statistical software. MS Excel, SPSS etc. Results and discussion information gathered through data. Interpretation of the results, graphs. Tables, charts, figures. Discussion. Relate the results with previous literature. Conclusion. A brief summary of the findings. Why your research should matter to the reader. A synthesis of the key points of the research, 1 or 2 paragraphs. Recommendations and future perspective. Recommendations. Constraints identified during the research. Problems with intended solutions. Future perspective. What can be done in the future in this area? What would be the new strategies for finding the solution? Report writing title page. Certification dedication contents. Lists of figures, tables, and abbreviations acknowledgement. Abstract. Introduction. Review of literature. Report writing, Kant. Methodology. Results and discussion conclusion. Recommendations. References and bibliography. Plagiarism check. Plagiarism is the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own. The work should be original. Checking tools, Turnitin. Grammarly. Plagiarism detector. Characteristics of a good report. Precision. Accuracy of facts, relevance. Simple language, conciseness. Error-free. Unbiased recommendations, clarity. Presentation. Complete in all respects. Publication. Selection of appropriate journal, submission of manuscript. Review process. Acceptance and publication, citations. Policy making and implementation. Research articles. Original research articles. Detailed studies reporting new work, classified as primary literature. Review articles. Summarize the current state of understanding on a topic. Classified as secondary literature. Sources. Academic writing. Writing Center. Colorado Technical College. Hartley, James. Academic Writing and Publishing, A Practical Guide. New York, Routledge. 2008. Eza, El Sadik Y. and Turidrid. Teaching Academic Writing as a Discipline-Specific Skill in Academic Writing. Writing Center. Colorado Technical College. Hartley, James. Academic Writing. Murray, Rowena, and Sarah Moore. The Handbook of Academic Writing, A Fresh Approach. Johnson, Roy.